Good afternoon. You are tuning in to the Max Insurance Recovery Hour with Kurus Lahudi, attorney, and today joining him is Ansi Viljanen, public adjuster. I'm sure I might get a lecture on how to better pronounce that name in just a little bit. But good morning. We have plenty of information to give you. Kurus Lahudi is an attorney, and his law offices can help you recover any type of damages, specifically fire damages, but he specializes in getting you the maximum recovery from your insurance claim. So Kurus, tell the people, let them know what you're all about.
Well, first of all, hello to everyone, and I hope you guys are doing good. I know it's kind of hard for those of you that have your property burned, and probably, unfortunately, you're in some hotel somewhere. Let me just tell you, we're here for you, and I would like to do as much as I can to educate you, give you some advice, maybe hopefully make the process go easier. So I like to start by saying it would be the biggest mistake for anyone that has this kind of problem to handle their cases with insurance company on their own. Representation is going to be crucial, and it's so important in a situation like this. And it's easy, there is an easy reason for it too. Insurance companies, they have to watch out for their own benefit. Their first duty is to their shareholders because they're a corporation. So basically, when they come and they visit your property and they want to go over all the damages with you, they don't have any duty to watch out for you or have your best self, your best interest in their heart. Despite the fact that most of these adjusters that they come over there, they're really nice. Their decorum is great, and they make you feel right at home. But unfortunately, they cannot watch for your interests, and there is a reason for that too. Now, I don't want to state the obvious, because the obvious is that insurance company, mostly they don't care about you. But everybody already knows that, and everybody knows that when they go against the insurance companies, they're in for a fight. But most people don't know that insurance legally isn't supposed to watch for their own benefit, because there is a Supreme Court case. Despite the fact that you happen to be their client, because once you get a policy from insurance company, you become their client. And generally, when someone is someone's client, they have an obligation to, give you good services. Unfortunately, by the letter of law, they have to watch out for the shareholders. And that means, even if the adjuster is a nice guy and he comes over there and he feels bad for you and he knows that your house is burned or you had water damage and all your living room, everything is sitting in the middle of water and you're going through so much problem and you're in a hotel, still if he wants to help you, he doesn't have the right, because legally and because of the Supreme Court case, they have to watch out for their shareholders. Don't just take my word for it. Actually, I have someone here today that was an independent adjuster and he worked for an insurance company. Basically, he would be representing their side. And today he's a public adjuster himself, and he's actually a person that I use. And we're actually a team. I'm an attorney, so I got the legal muscle, and he's a public adjuster, and he knows every little detail that you need to know about damages. This guy can come to your house and he can look around and he can take his pictures, and then he can, with the highest accuracy, he can tell you you have this much damage, whether it's 150,000 or 200,000 or $500,000. It all depends that what has happened over there. And his name is Ansi. I'm very happy to actually announce him here, and he can tell you when he gets an assignment from insurance company, let him say in his own word that what happens.
Well, thanks, Kuros. My name is Ansi Viljanen, and I'm a public adjuster. I used to be an independent adjuster. This is something that we have on all of our contracts. There's three kinds of adjusters. There's a company adjuster, there's an independent adjuster, and a public adjuster. And my job, when I worked for the insurance companies, I did over 2,000 claims. I worked for 22 different insurance companies. And what Kuros said right there, I'm a nice guy. And I would come to your house and I would see that you have your toilet wax ring is leaking, or that you have smoke damage to your house, or your roof is leaking, or your shingles are missing from your roof. And I would come in and I would empathize with you. But here's the problem. I'm bound by guidelines. I have actual internal guidelines from this insurance company of how am I supposed to write this estimates. So I have, hundreds and hundreds of photos where I would have my moisture reader behind, say, a toilet, and they would have the insured would have had say a toilet overflow. That's something that's a textbook case, something that insurance is supposed to cover. Well, you have a toilet overflow. Are you gonna keep the water? It's flowing everywhere, and it smells. You're gonna clean that up. And at that point, you're not thinking to take photos that water just came out of your toilet. You're just gonna clean it up. So I would take my moisture reader, I would put it on the wall, and because I was there the next day that when it happened, I don't see any damage. I can tell from my moisture reader that there is moisture inside your wall. You probably have insulation inside your wall, and if it stays there, it's going to start growing mold. But I cannot, per my guidelines, say that we need to open up this drywall because I cannot see direct physical damage. I need actual, so things like that, just to know, and bothered me when I was working for the insurance company. It kind of came to a head. There was a particular big insurance company I was working for. This family out in Oxnard had a leak out of their garbage disposal, and about 6 linear feet of their kitchen cabinets in their kitchen island, they were just trashed. And these cabinets were made out of MDF, which is that little sawdust-looking stuff. And I did not even bat an eyelid. I just said, hey, I want to pay for this whole kitchen, whatever. So next day, the manager gives me a call back when he's reviewing my file, and he said, Ansi, what are you doing? You're wanting to pay for this whole kitchen? I said, yeah, absolutely. The California Insurance Code says that there has to be reasonable uniform appearance between all the kitchen cabinets or whatever's being replaced, whether it's cabinets, flooring, paint. And I say, this is made out of MDF. This is not something that can be refinished. And the manager says, no, I want you to write your estimate for refinishing these cabinets. So then I ask him, like, okay, well, you're the boss, so I'll do what you asked me to do. Just put a note so that I'm covering my butt, that this is actually a directive coming from you. And but before that, would you mind just explaining me how are they physically going to refinish these cabinets? MDF, just so you listener know, is a material. It's made of sawdust, and when you have a cabinet made out of that, there's just a little kind of laminate sticker that's made out of some inorganic material, and when it just as soon as you sand it or you try to refinish it, whatever, there's nothing left of it. You're trying to sand sawdust, and this is what the guy said, Kuros. He said, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
And they it was if they come back, or if their contractor comes back, we'll pick it up in a supplement. And how many times was I being told that? We'll just pick it up in a supplement.
Yeah, and the supplement is 6 months down the line.
Yeah, and it did not make any sense. And I was like, I'm tired of this. I just rather, I'm here to help the customer. So that's what I do today as a public adjuster. I go directly, help out the customer. I file your claim, and now it's a fun partnership. That you and I got going on, because I can always lean back on. I don't need to give a crap what the insurance company says now, because I always know, hey, I'm happy to go all the way, because I know Kuro's got my back, and he's happy to litigate it. And
I'm so glad you actually brought the toilet overflow, and you were right on point. Yeah, for those of you out there, whenever you have a toilet overflow, or let's say you have a sewer backup, in the industry, this is called like category 3 water, and sometimes even referred to as dark water, right, Nancy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So basically, look, this is a water that is full of bacteria and is the worst thing that can hit your home in regards for your health. So generally, by letter of law and codes of like conduct in every state, whenever you have category 3 water hitting your house, everything has to be replaced. It's not about damages anymore. Like, for example, you have a carpet and the category 3 water has hit it. That carpet needs to be thrown away. But I promise you, I have so many cases that the insurance adjusters are like, well, why can't we just wash the carpet? No, you can't, because this is bacteria water. You got to throw it away. You can't just go like, use about 10 different kind of chemicals to get rid of bacteria. And then, can you even like be sure 100% that every bacteria is going to be gone? Because, most carpets, they're like weaved, and so that's like one thing. Now, just imagine, if you have marble in your house, or you have stones, basically in your living room, and this bacteria water hits it, marble and most stones are like porous material, which means they will take in that bacteria water and it goes under them, and then it also get mixes with the grouts that you have over there. So just like Ansi said, you have no idea what's going on, and you already clean your house. And the insurance adjuster comes the next day, and he doesn't see any damages, and he's like, okay, well, look, he probably write the estimate for a couple of $1,000 for you to go clean it with like bleach or get some professional help and clean your house. However, no matter what, you already got all these bacteria water under your marble, and you got it mixed with your grout. And guess what? By law, you're entitled to have all those marbles and all the stones thrown away, and you have to put a whole set of brand new stones and marble over there. And just like Ansi said earlier, the uniformity, that's like such an important thing, because you had the bacteria water near your bathroom, and even on some of the marbles that is in your living room. However, now your living room and the hall and the kitchen happen to have the same stone. Well, guess what? They have to pay for the entire thing. Everything has to change, because you're allowed to have uniformity. You can't just go take some of those marbles out, and then you're not going to be able to find the exact match with the same kind of stone runnings. Now you put it down there, and now your house is like two different color.
Kuros, that reminds me of a story. It was in Glendale, and it was this particular family had a laminate floor, and their kitchen was trash and whatever. And my guidelines this time around allowed me to pay for the whole kitchen. I was really happy to do that. But this, for whatever reason, insurance companies, they try these new guidelines, and this time around they were trying this new guideline that if you have a laminate floor, whatever you can see from whatever was damaged, they would replace that. But they told me to stop at the threshold for the bedroom. So there was 3 more bedrooms that had this laminate floor. So now, I was like, this is kind of dumb. So that's what I did. I just paid for it, up to the bedroom or whatever. And then, sure enough, like 2-3 weeks later, public adjuster calls me and says, hey, here's our supplement. And I mean, what was it, like 40 grand extra, 50 grand extra?
Yeah, minimum.
And so insurance company, they would have probably, that customer would have been totally happy. Just pay for the stupid floor in those 3 bedrooms. What are you gonna pay? 8 grand for that? And now, public adjuster has to get involved, and it's way more, because I mean, let's face it, they're actually, here's something interesting. What the insurance game, it's kind of like poker, because when you play poker, you have a hand of cards. There's the shared cards on the table. So there's the reality of what the game is, what you have in your pocket, what I have in my pocket. But then there's also the game that goes beyond the cards with the betting.
Right.
With the betting, because I'm playing not just the game, but I'm also playing you as a player.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happens in the insurance game. I would come in as an adjuster, and I would, come into one of these houses, and I could tell that this person is just the kind of person who, I don't want the hassle. I don't, whatever. If they just pay me, a little bit, maybe we can put these, rebuild these cabinets and put the old face frames on top of it, or something like that.
I get that all the time.
Oh yeah, and that's the guideline, and the guidelines are built for
Their
that.
guideline.
Yeah, exactly, and they're built for that kind of people.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a certain, because for me, I wouldn't necessarily always, for me, it would be too much hassle to just go to the bottom of it and whatever, I'm not really going to get compensated for that. So if I can get the person to feel comfortable with the idea of, okay, we're going to rebuild these kitchen boxes for you, and we're going to use the, and if, I'll maybe refer you a vendor that the insurance company, can bring in, and, know, and then, because I knew I could get away with it, and it would be just easier. I don't think any of these people at insurance companies, the people themselves, it's not like they're malignant.
Absolutely.
It's the system.
No, the people are like you. The people are like you.
Exactly.
They love people, they want to help them, but when there is a legal guideline, not just a regular guideline, but you're talking about a legal guideline that, hey, first you look for the shareholders.
Yeah.
Well, that easily means that you don't look for this guy.
Yeah.
Let's get Shane involved here for a second. Throw my phone number for people, in case if they want to call me, they have questions.
Oh, you got it. I've got the easiest job here, Kuros. If you want to get in contact with Kuros, get more of this information, this experience that they have, you can go ahead and dial, if you're local to Santa Clarita, 661-434-0248. That's 661-434-0248. Or you can also dial 818-300-5777. That's 818-300-5777, and either of those numbers will get you directly to the Max Insurance Recovery team or Kurus Lahudi himself, and he'll be able to help you out more in order to get your insurance claim represented appropriately and get the maximum recovery out of it.
Thank you so much. Having said that, maybe we can get into the fire a little bit. Look,
my head is hurting, brother. I just came from San Gabriel before I came over here.
Yeah, it's really bad out there.
It's just brown
everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, it's just I parked my car. It's actually all the way in Roland Heights. So, I mean, it's the Bobcat Fire is like above Sierra Madre, Azusa area-ish. And it's all the way in Roland Heights. And I was parked for 10 minutes. I signed these people up. And my car was totally covered in ashes.
Yeah, it's really getting bad out there. And, well, yeah, going back to the policy. So, you got a fire, and unfortunately...
We're going to take a commercial break real quick.
Okay, good. That's actually a good segue, because when we come back, we can give them more perfect information on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. It's perfect timing. You've been listening to the Max Insurance Recovery Hour right here on KHTS. We'll take that quick commercial break and get right back to it, all right here on your hometown station.
If you need help at home or at the office, call Made For You. Made For You is a locally owned, bonded, and licensed cleaning service with over 20 years of experience. All employees are vetted for your protection. No need to buy products or expensive equipment. The Made For You staff comes complete with everything needed to make your home or office cleaner than ever. Hire Made For You one time, as needed, or on an ongoing basis. No room is off limits. Laundry and ironing services are also available. Call Made For You for a free estimate today. 255-2922. That's 255-2922.
This is Bradley from Santa Clarita Grocery, the all-volunteer grocery program serving children, families, and individuals experiencing food insecurities. Since January 2020, Santa Clarita Grocery has distributed 83 tons of fresh groceries to 4,465 families in the SCV. Santa Clarita Grocery is a drive-up, drive-through service with physical distancing in place to continue serving our community. If you are in need or looking for a charity to do the most good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery, one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. A full 99 cents out of every dollar goes directly back to the community. Santa Clarita Grocery operates on a 1% overhead and is sustained through private donations. Santa Clarita Grocery is at 21176 Center Point Parkway in the Oasis Furniture parking lot. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or our Facebook at Santa Clarita Grocery to make a difference in our awesome town community. 661-425-7575. Be our guest and experience the difference.
Step into a hot shower or slip on a warm t-shirt fresh from the dryer, and you can feel the comfort natural gas gives us every day. For over 100 years, Southern California Gas Company has provided safe, reliable natural gas service. It warms our homes, powers cleaner vehicles, and cooks our food at a fraction of the cost of other energy sources with less environmental impact, today and for decades to come. Natural gas, part of the clean energy solution. Learn more at SoCalGas.com. Search solution.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help.
They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
This is a Rita's Daybreak. There's a huge crowd at Rita's. With so many amazing flavors, every day's a treat. Let's see what folks are celebrating.
I lost my first tooth.
No more training wheels.
My dog photo got 37 likes.
3 kids, 3 activities, 0 meltdowns. There you have it. Layer it, blend it, or drink it with Italian ice and creamy custard. So many reasons to celebrate at Rita's. This has been a Rita's Daybreak.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
MB2 Raceway, fast, high-performance kart racing at LA County's only indoor electric kart racing facility, and you're the superstar driver. Motocross legend and DEI driver Ricky Carmichael and Team Andretti Green's Brian Herta race in MB2 when they're not fighting it out for world championships, and so can you. MB2 Raceway, located between San Fernando and Santa Clarita Valleys, where the 5, the 210, and the 14 freeways meet in Silmar. It's MB2 Raceway. Dial 1-866-986-RACE. That's 1-866-986-RACE. MB2 Raceway, where racers race.
98.1 FM and AM 1220, the community's choice.
Thank you, KHTS, for keeping me posted with the latest on COVID-19.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Max Insurance Recovery Hour with attorney Kurus Lahudi, and joining him today we have Ansi Viljanen, public adjuster, giving you the information that you need in order to get to the most from your insurance claim in order to get to the maximum recovery. Kurus Lahudi has been around for a while, and for the past couple of weeks, Kurus and now Ansi have been sharing stories about how they help you get the most from your insurance recovery claim. So Kurus, tell the people, let them know why they should be calling you.
One thing I wanted to say is actually discuss our fee. We charge about 15% of whatever money we recover for you. Now, generally, that's actually a real discounted fee, because when you hire an attorney or a public adjuster, both of these people, which are also licensed individual, that they can represent you against the insurance company. Generally, they work on a contingency basis, which means they don't charge you any money unless they can recover for you. So if we come out there and we cannot get you any kind of money, there is no fees and there is no cost. But then, usually, public adjusters, their fee in a market runs anywhere between like 15 to 20%, and most attorneys are like 33%, just like traffic accident, or like 25%. But I understand that, people have fire and they just lost their property, and they're gonna need every single cent that they get from insurance company to like put their life back to where it was. That's why I'm actually giving everybody the benefit of having a team of a public adjuster and an attorney for 15%. And I cannot go any lower than that. You're getting two people that, on their own, they charge you about 20 or 25%. Yep. But the combination of both of us, you get that 15%, and that's just to help everybody. And I want to leave some good impression, with, from this radio on all the listeners here. And another thing to say, when it comes to representation, insurance company would actually let you have anyone talk on your benefit, because they would be happy if you don't have an attorney or a public adjuster, because these are two people that they have license from the state of California or whatever state that they work in, and they know their job, so the insurance would be at the happiest place if you just have a regular contractor or someone to just talk on your behalf, and they allow it. Now, one of the things that is really important about public adjusters is that these people are highly trained with a device called Xactomate, actually a computer program, where when they come and they want to assess your damages, every little detail, even down to the nail, like how much nail you're going to use in the rebuilding of a house, and they go through that program, and that's why they can come out with the most accurate estimate that would, like, reflect to you that what your damages is. When you go with a normal contractor, basically their estimate is going to be about 2 or 3 page, and it's going to have some details, but it's a contractor's estimate. It's not something that, actually ANSI can tell you much more about this, please.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, so here's something that California Insurance Code allows for you. It allows for you to choose your own contractor. A lot of times what insurance companies want to do is, because there's an industry standard, and I agree that Xactomate is a good industry standard tool for us to be using to communicate with one another, because we understand that if we're doing this flooring project or whatever, we realize that, okay, we have to take out the flooring. Before we can do that, we got to take out the baseboard. When the floor is laid out, the baseboard has to go back in, and it has to be painted twice. Now, if you get your regular old contractor, Joe is writing you an estimate, and he says, there's one line item saying laminate flooring and baseboards for kitchen and dining room, $7,300.
That's it.
And it doesn't give a whole lot of detail. But then, so insurance company, they just tear that apart, and they have a hard time dealing with it.
They want details.
And they do. Now, the interesting thing is, they could take Joe's estimate, and if they were in the game of actually allowing you as the insured to choose your contract, they would pay Joe's $7,300 or whatever. But now, because the way I was trained as an adjuster, I was being told that this Xactomate, it's this billion-dollar software, and this is the thing that I would parrot to everybody that I was talking to. It's a billion-dollar software and their job is to find out the pricing data in every zip code, and
you have to be a member to be able to use it.
Yes, yeah. You have a subscription. You pay, a certain dollar amount per month, and it's true. It gives you, if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, or if you're in Los Angeles, whatever your zip code is, it will give you what we call a price list, and it's sort of an approximation of what the average price is. Now, here's the thing that even most people in the insurance companies don't know. This comes directly from the CEO of Xactware, Bill Loveland. There's a YouTube video you can go and watch. It's about 20 minutes, where he explains how the pricing actually works. And it's so lopsided to the insurance company's side.
Absolutely.
Here's how it works. They basically listen contractors who call in. They actually don't call the contractor. Contractor has to call in and report, here's how much I charge for a coat of primer and a coat of paint. It's about 98 cents or whatever.
Right.
Now, if somebody wants to charge more, then the insurance company puts up a big fuss about it, and they're like, well, no, this is the Xactomate price. But when Bill Loveland talks about it, he says, well, here's how it's supposed to work. You charge whatever you charge. And then at Xactomate, we adjust our rates based on what's actually happened on the ground. But it's a vicious cycle when, if somebody's only allowed to charge the Xactomate rate, the prices never go up. Absolutely. So it is up to someone like yourself and myself, people who are innovators, who actually know the game, and who are able to push what the actual market rate is. So that's where we come in. I can talk the Xactomate language with the insurance company, and I'm better at it than they are.
You worked for them,
Yeah.
It's like a prosecutor switching sides and become a defense attorney now.
Exactly.
They make some of the...
Yeah, like I had a contractor friend over in Riverside, and he had a big loss to his own house. So he called me, Ansi, I don't want to use my own estimator. Can you come in and do the estimate for my house? And I said, of course, Isaac. I'd love to help you out with that.
Last week when I was actually talking, I told them about some of the quote-unquote mistakes, like, so you do an Exactomate in Los Angeles,
right?
But they put a zip code of like Kansas. I cut this about 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Or like Alabama, and you know, a door in Alabama about $14-15, but in Los Angeles, can you really change a door for anything less than $100? You know?
Well, yeah, no, it's a goofy dynamic, and also another dynamic is if you're in Beverly Hills, for example, is Beverly Hills people, they use Beverly Hills contractors.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
Right.
Now, there's no separate price list for Beverly Hills. It's just the same whether you are...
No, not on Exactomate.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, whether you are in one of the less wealthy neighborhood or whether you're in one of the wealthier neighborhood, it's all the same price list.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, for any of you that wants more information, please feel free to give me a call on my direct line, 818-300-5777. Easy number to remember. Just remember the movie 300, 5777. And yeah, look, these guys, they use every little excuse that is available to them to pay you as less as possible. And here's another example. So you got a policy and you got a fire, and now all of a sudden, you know, either half of your house is burned or the full house is burned. And generally, most policies these days are like replacement cost. With replacement cost, then the age of the house comes in, which is really important. And then all this personal property and everything else that you have lost in there too, obviously they have some kind of age. So the insurance comes and give you a check, and none of them take time. They don't have to come and tell you that, look, we just wrote you a check, but there is this thing called depreciation, which means the money that they're withholding because your house was like 10 to 12 or maybe 20 years old. Some of the stuff you had, maybe your TV was about 3 years old. So all that money is sitting somewhere, and they're not paying you, and they're not telling you that you're entitled to that money. And then collecting it is something else. I mean, it's not, you can't just walk up to them and say, okay, give me my depreciation. There is all sorts of stuff that you got to go through, which my office is really experienced. And look, that alone could be about $50,000 to $60,000 or maybe up to $100,000 on an average house that gets burned, that you're being shortchanged. Or even if you have water damage or you have earthquake, anything that you have, that depreciation is also sitting there. Now, some people, they have this policy that also goes about actual cash value, okay? And Nancy can probably even tell you a little bit more than I do. But yeah, you lose so much. And my office right now, I have all these files and they're sitting there. And these are all the people that they have come and they hired me, and they're telling me that, okay, I got $10,000, and can you do any better? I had a case that they paid the guy $8,000 and he had this water damage, and I end up getting another $160,000. He was literally underestimated for $160,000, and that's not a joke. Now see, 10 years ago, you could have sued the insurance company for that, because here's what you would say. I'm their client. Your adjuster came here, and he's supposed to be someone that is experienced, and he only saw $8,000 worth of damage, but there is $160,000 worth of damage that is sitting over there that he ignored or he didn't see. So I'm going to sue you for gross negligence. But then again, all of this thing went into trash can with that Supreme Court when they came and they said that these are corporations, and their first job is to watch out for their own people and their own shareholders. So they don't have to. If they make a mistake and they give you $10,000 when they're supposed to give you $100,000, then I'm sorry, you're screwed. That you need someone like me or Nancy to watch out for your benefit and watch out for your interest.
Yeah, if there's a lowball offer, now it's still in the Fair Claims Regulations, but what's the penalty for that? It's $5,000 and a slap on the wrist.
Right. Right.
It's not much.
Yeah. If they lowball you for $100,000, who cares if they don't, they pay $5,000?
Yeah, penalty.
And to get more information like this, to get all this expertise, you can dial 818-300-5777. Cruz has said it a few times today, but just to keep it fresh in your head, 818-300-5777, or you can dial 661 434-0248. You can also check out their website, www.maxinsurancerecovery.com. There's a whole lot of ways that you can get more information on what Kurus can do for you or what the Max Insurance Recovery Team can also do for you.
Right. I want to actually bring up a case which I talked about last week, but for many of the listeners that didn't catch that show, there is a place in Huntington Beach, and it's called like Old Germantown, and it's all about, it's just like Hamburg, Germany, actually, when you walk in there. And the owner has a restaurant over there, and they have like a European shop where you can buy grocery and many other stuff. And this place is really big. It's almost about like 5 or 6 acres of little Hamburg, just being there. And they have some of the most biggest Oktoberfest happening over there, which is as big as some of the Oktoberfest that happen in Wisconsin. But here's the moral of the story. Southern California Edison actually has all these electrical boxes over there, and one of them exploded. And the poor owner was actually about like 8 foot from the box when it exploded. So this guy, Bernie, he burned. He had like, 2/3 of his body actually burned. He was in a hospital for over 4 months, and now, even right now, he has to put all sorts of lotion on himself. His life is not the same anyway.
Wow.
And he has his own attorney that, they're handling the personal injury part. But then that explosion took almost like, a quarter of his restaurant and the shop. And Bernie actually found my number because one of my friends was servicing his ATM. So Bernie called me, and they had already paid Bernie about like $100,000. So I went in there, and obviously I got him another $480,000 on top of that. This is how much they actually had underestimated.
Wow.
And for those of you out there that you might have doubts, just dare me. Come to my office, I'll show you the file, and I will show you the check stubs, and I will show you the $100,000 that they paid him, and the date is right there. And then you can see my contract, when I was hired, and how he got $480,000 after that. And there is still another $200,000 coming for more loss of use. But I didn't bring this up to tell you I have ability to get you more money. That's a given. It's obvious. Obviously, attorneys, they have muscle, and public adjusters like ANSI, they know exactly how to go about things, and they know all the damages. So together, he'll figure out all your damages, and then I'm going to put legal muscle behind it, and we're going to grab it from them. But again, that's not my point. Here's my point. The point is that because Edison is responsible, and it was their box that broke up and exploded, insurance company can pay Bernie all his money, then they can go recover that money from Southern California Edison. So insurance has nothing to lose. This is actually one of the great things that they can do, that look, you have your own client. The poor guy is burned, okay? Bernie is burned. So if you're gonna help anybody from all these people, if you're going to shortchange anybody, at least that's one guy that you shouldn't do it to, because the poor guy is in a hospital. And you can check this. Actually go to YouTube and put Old Germantown explosion, Southern California, Edison, some of these keywords, and CBS interviewed Bernie. And you can actually watch the whole 3 minutes, and Bernie is walking and he's saying what happened to him and, what they did to him. But here's the thing. If these guys, despite the fact that they can recover every single penny that they paid this poor guy, and still they shortchanged him, what do you think they're going to do to someone like you that is, okay, so your house was burned, but you're still, thank God you're safe, you're in a hotel, you're in a safe place, you have food to eat. So if they treat Bernie like that, how do you think they're going to treat you? The thing is that this is actually the system. This is the guideline, just like ANSI said. This is supervisors and high people not allowing even people to help, because I'm sure the adjuster that came over there, when he saw Bernie, he wouldn't want to help Bernie. If ANSI was over there, he would want to pay Bernie everything that he can, because, the guy is burned. But they won't let you. That's the point.
And Kurus, right on that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You've been listening to the Max Insurance Recovery Hour right here on KHTS 98.1 FM, AM 1220. We will be right back in just a couple of minutes for our last segment right here on the Max Insurance Recovery Hour.
At iLead Agua Dulce, we believe the most important thing a child can learn in school is who they are. Life's real tests are never standardized, which is why we've developed an individual-based curriculum that values exploration, cooperation, and creativity. As our learners grow, so do we. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 7th and adding 8th grade in 2020. Your young learner will be immersed in a unique environment where possibility and self-discovery are at the core of every experience. The Agua Dulce campus features beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces for hands-on inspiration, including a robotics lab, a garden bed, a greenhouse, and a technology-based exploratorium. iLead Agua Dulce is conveniently located on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley, just off the 14 freeway. Check out our homeschool options too. To schedule a campus tour or learn more about our programs, visit ileadaguadulce.org. We're enrolling now. iLead Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Join us this fall for online fun with the Canyon Theater Guild online youth workshops. Super fun classes with acting, singing, dancing, audition tips, script writing, scene study, improv, and putting on real shows created for online performance. Get creative, meet new friends, and most of all, have a blast from the comfort of your own home. Call 661-799-2702 or ctgworkshops@gmail.com or canyontheater.org.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Hi, I'm Miles McNamara, Certified Senior Advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers and Home Care. Our caregivers help you in your own home. A Comfort Keeper can provide companionship, meal preparation, medication monitoring, assistance with personal care, transportation to doctor appointments, all enhancing your independence and safety in the comfort and privacy of your own home. So if you or someone you love could use a helping hand at home, call Comfort Keepers at 287-4200. That's 287-4200.
There's a very good reason Embrace Your Smile has been voted Santa Clarita's #1 orthodontist for 10 years in a row.
Honestly, it's our team.
Dr. Megan LeCornu.
I think for me, what makes it stand out is when I have patients that come up to me and say, we have never been in a doctor's office that feels like this. Our team is a family, and we really get along, and we are really passionate about what we do, helping our patients get the smiles they want and deserve.
Dr. Megan LeCornu of Embrace Your Smile Orthodontics.
Embrace your smile.
EmbraceYourSmile.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
HometownStation.com is the best for information on COVID-19 and the Santa Clarita Valley.
It's who we are.
You've been tuning into the Max Insurance Recovery Hour right here on KHTS Radio, 98.1 FM, AM 1220. Attorney Kurus Lahudi has been bringing you information last week and now this week on how to get the maximum from your insurance recovery claim, whether that's from fire damage, smoke damage, damage from smoke ash. Kurus has been around, he has seen it, done it, and is ready to help you. And joining him today is, I've been getting his pronunciation right all day, Ansin Viljanen, public adjuster. I think I'm getting close. I'm getting a kind.
Pretty close.
I'm getting a kind
Well, tell
nod.
him he's a Viking from Finland, man, for God's sake.
I'm getting a kind nod, but nonetheless, gentlemen, take over from here.
Yeah, okay, for little short time we have. Now let me give you the last reason why it would be good to have representation. Stress. This process is going to be so stressful that I just cannot even be able to actually break it down for you. But here's the way it goes. So let's say first you have to get all this document, and then you have to fight, and then you got to get your money, and you're already misplaced, and you're in a hotel. Well, what do you think happens finally after going back and forth? And once you get shortchanged and you're going to be underpaid, now with a little bit of money that you got in your hand, or maybe even some kind of respectable money that looks like you can, go ahead and fix your property back, do you know what's going to happen? When you get that check from the insurance company, you're going to see your name, and then you're going to also see a bank's name on there. Yes, because most people, I'm sure, 99% of us, we all have mortgage, and because the banks have mortgage and they got a stake in a house, whether you have property damage or you have fire damage, their name is going to be on that check. So now you do not even have control over how you're going to go approach this and hiring your own people. You might have a contractor that you're really comfortable with and you've been using for years and everything is good. But guess what? The bank has to also accept that contractor, and the bank is going to hold this money. This money is not going to go into your bank account because their name is on there. They will actually have you sign the check. Then the bank is going to take over and deposit your money into some kind of holding account, and then they're going to pay your contractor 1/3 at a time, and your contractor has to prove that every single part of the job has been done. But here's the problem. You may be comfortable with the contractor, but the bank, if they find out anything, like let's say this poor guy forgot to pay his, license money, and he was inactivated for like a little bit. And so basically they can use this as a reason to try to push their own contractor. Or if the contractor happened to have some kind of blemish on his record that you don't care about because you've been working with him for years and years, and everything has been good to you, but they can just tell you, no, we do not accept this contractor. So here's the thing. The minute you hire my office, you are in control. The insurance company is not in the control. The corporation is not in control. The adjuster is not in the control. And the bank is not in control either. I'm the only person that can actually override all these people. And I will also help you with contractor. If you don't have a contractor to build your house, and that could be a little bit problematic too, for you to watch over a contractor and you're not sure if he's giving you the right prices. Well, guess what? I'm an attorney, and I went to school and I passed the bar, and I have 19 years of experience. And during all these times, I promise you, there is not going to be a contractor out there that is going to be able to pull the wool over my head. So, and I do not give up on your case as soon as I make my money and I walk away with my portion, and I then hand over your own money. If you ask me to help you out, I will help you out with the contractor too, and I will watch over you. So the contractor will also know that you got an attorney that is watching over the case, and he has your back. All this service I give you, plus a public adjuster that has already worked for insurance company. You heard him today. He had a chance to talk to you and let you know who he is. You get both of us with all these services for 15% if your house is burned down. Now, if it happened that your house just sustained a smoke damage, by the way, don't forget about that. You do not have to necessarily have your house burned to collect, because you can have a smoke damage, and that can go like, $50 to sometimes to $100,000.
$130, we did that one last year.
Yeah, the one we did, that was
Skirble,
$130,000. Anyway, yeah, for those one, the percentage is going to be a little bit different because I actually have to hire a lot of people that they do testing. I'm going to leave that up for the next time, and then, I'll give you guys information. Or just call me. 818-300-5777, and I'll explain everything else.
That's right, Kuros. And for any and all information for Kuros Lahudi or Max Insurance Recovery, you can go to www.maxinsurancerecovery.com, call 818-300-5777, or call 661-434-0248. That's all the time we have for today, but we will see you next week on the Max Insurance Recovery Hour with Attorney Kuros Lahudi. We'll see you next time.